Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 28 of Enigmatica 2 Expert. It's been a couple days since the end of last video, at least for me, where we set up the two neutron collectors we got from a quest reward, conveniently enough, and it has produced 12 neutronium ingots. So someone better than me at math can figure out exactly how long it's been, but 12 neutronium ingots is enough to, I think, get us to the point where we can grow neutronium essence. Which is a necessary, well, I guess it's not the only thing that can make creative essence, but it lets us effectively make as much neutronium as we need for the future for stuff like the infinity ingot. I'll grow that soon, but for now, I think I want to start off by making the creative generator. So we have now we have all the components in here. We were waiting for these high voltage solars to finish earlier. So let's take it all. Perhaps we'll leave the bits that hurt very badly to hold in our hand for just 1 second. But we'll put all this here. A little bit of lag today. Just sanity check, make sure we're not missing anything besides... Ooh, we are missing the 4 ultimate catalysts. No, we're not. Ultimate catalyst. The ultimate... Of course, it's not an ultimate catalyst. It's the ultimate catalyst. There we go. 4 of the ultimate catalyst coming right up. See, this is why you check things. If I didn't check that, I'd have an inventory full of radioactive pellets for the 30 seconds it takes for these to craft. Alright, well now that we have the ultimate catalyst, let's poison ourselves. And I know I could just like put on my hazmat suit. Oh, come on, why do you no work? Don't do this to me. Something has bad MBT data. And, I mean, what items even have MBT data? Here? Tier 3? I don't know. I'm going to look through here, see if I can figure out why you no work. There are no items here that have weird MBT data besides, like, the buckets, which, I mean, it's just what fluid is in it. And like the tier on these ultimate induction things, but all the ones I have are the right item. So I'm gonna see, is it just, yeah, that's all it was. It didn't render the output. Whoops. All right, well, I spent 5 minutes like, is it this now? Could it be? No, is it? But yeah, we have a creative generator now. I'm a little bit curious how much energy this thing can output. Are there, what IC2 cables are there? Like, how high does it go? Glass fiber? Does it go higher than glass fiber? I mean, I guess we could just use the universal cables, right? How much does ultimate go to? 128,000? Then let me see how much energy we could extract from a creative generator. Placing the generator may have been a mistake. I can't mine it with anything. And the wrench rotates it. Is there a different wrench? There's the old wrench. The new wrench doesn't work. Let's see if the old wrench works. Wait, is this an IC2 wrench? No, it's a forestry wrench. Wrong wrench. Oh shit, that doesn't look like an IC2 wrench. Alright, so there's wrench new and then there's wrench. Ah, there we go. Okay, we can pick it up with a wrench. Good. Alright, looks like this thing, it doesn't natively output into mechanism cables, so it's more trouble than it's worth just based on that. I suspect if we wanted to withdraw power out of it, we had to go through like go through a transformer of some sort and then go from that into mechanism cables. For now, we'll just hang on to it and use it as a crafting ingredient down the line. Out of curiosity, I placed it right next to a matter fabricator to see if, like, the matter fabricator would be fast. No, it will not be fast. Perhaps plugging in more side will speed it up. But even then, like, this is glacially slow, right? We compare that, and yeah, I know it's not receiving scrap, but, well, our matter fabricator is not running because the thing is full, but here, let's start printing these. Right, our matter fabricator is like 5 orders of magnitude faster, so don't need you. Stop, useless thing. Anyways, with that distraction out of the way, let's get back to working towards the creative fluid tank. So, at this point, I think I've gathered up all the fluids for the creative fluid tank except goat milk and neutron fluid. And I think I figured out how to get goat milk. So to get goat milk, we have to breed these two, and they say they're hungry and thirsty, so they won't breed while hungry or thirsty. To feed or to make them not thirsty, you just give them a bucket of water. It says the wiki says they drink water from the world, but I can pull that off. But then you give them some food, and now they are well fed. And then bump them next to each other. Come on, come on, get over there. And they will eventually breed like regular animals, right? Pregnant. There we go. So when you are done being pregnant, we will she will lay a calf or whatever you call a baby goat. They're calves, right? I think so. Anyways, she will give birth to a calf, at which point we can then milk her for goat milk. So that'll take a little bit. I guess, can we speed this up? Does this work the way I expect it to? No, it doesn't look okay. All right, we just have to wait. During that time, then let's build the fission or fusion reactor from nuclear craft so that we can make neutron fluid. The only way to make it is in the fusion reactor. Oh, I also lied about having all the fluids. There's one other thing we need, and that is tritium. So it specifically has to be nuclear craft tritium. Only nuclear craft tritium can be put into a bucket. And I, for the life of me, cannot find a way to convert our tritium here, which is mechanism tritium, right? Mechanism's liquid tritium into nuclear craft tritium. So I can't bucket this directly, and I can't convert the two because it is not a liquid tritium does not have a fluid dictionary entry I can't use the fluid dictionary converter. This thing can only convert between, it can convert between light fluids, but only, let's see, essence, experience, seed oil, sulfuric acid, hydrogen, and honeys. So we have to make a little bit of nuclear craft tritium. However, the tritium we have here is good for running in the fusion reactor. And in fact, it's pretty much ideal for the fusion reactor because we can run tritium plus tritium, and every 556 ticks, we get 20 millibuckets of neutron fluid out. And in total, we only need, one bucket per tank. And once we have one tank, it can make an infinite amount, right? So we only have to run a nuclear reactor for a little bit. Anyway, so two things to do then. First of all, we have to do something to make this tritium. I guess technically we can make it in the... That's probably not worth it. I'll just electrolyze... I guess it has to be heavy water. We'll electrolyze some heavy water until we get a bucket of tritium. We already pump heavy water, so that's in this ender tank. I'll just piggyback off this. And we're off. Alright, upgrade it. I guess I should make sure we don't use so much of our heavy water that our reactor stalls, because if this deuterium supply fails, our reactor stalls. Is there a buffer of it somewhere? Do I have to... I don't know, whatever. I'll just slow down our thing. Alright, good enough. There is 2 buckets of tritium. Does this stuff flow upwards? It disappears. Got it. Don't put it in the world. During that time, the Eco Doe here has given birth to a Eco Kid, so that should mean that she is milkable, ready to milk. So right-click to milk, which makes her thirsty, give her water, do it again. Nice. There is goat milk. I'm going to build our fusion reactor here near the fuel source, so we don't have to move the fuel terribly far. So you start with the fusion core. That is a big block. Then you put at least one connector coming off each of these sides. I'm going to use 2. I think the larger you go, the more, the bigger your reactor is. And as a result, the more fuel you consume and stuff. And then you just connect all this together, if memory serves me right. You have to build, a ring around this. So let me show you what I mean. Here, I'm almost done. We have I guess I'm going to call it a donut of air, surrounded on all sides by these fusion electromagnets. There's 2 types of the transparent ones and the solid ones. They're fully interchangeable, but you build this donut around it, and then you have to power the electromagnets. That's how you keep the reaction contained within the reactor. as opposed to outside the reactor. You don't want that. So that just requires a little bit of RF. I'm going to just get a bunch of power cells, I think. Energy will spread from a electromagnet towards nearby ones. However, they can only, like, each connection can only spread energy so far. So you're going to need a number of energy connections. I mean, we could just use wires as well, but ultimately how you do this is up to you. Just make sure you get energy into all the electric magnets so they turn green. Once all the electric magnets are green, we can power the fusion core itself. It just takes RF. And with that, it starts building up temperature. It needs to reach a certain temperature before you can start it up. I think it's 8,000, although I don't know if that are 8,000 megakelvin, that is. I think that's a minimum to start it, but we'll see. This thing is draining a fair bit of energy right now to power it up. I mean, 250,000 RF per tick. Once it gets up to temperature, we can fuel it. So to make neutron fluid is let's see, to make it out of, this is tritium, right? So where is tritium? To make it out of tritium, it's a 100 to 1 ratio. For 2,000 millibuckets of tritium, we get 20 millibuckets of neutron fluid. So if I need a bucket of it, I need 100 buckets of tritium. And since I want 2 buckets, I'm going to wait for this tank to fill up to upwards of 200 buckets of tritium. A few notes on this UI here. We want to turn on or turn off prevent input overflow. That is, we want the same input, or we want the same input to be able to flow from one tank to the other. We want, this doesn't matter, and we want void output overflow on, because I don't care for the byproduct here, whatever that happens to be. I think it was like helium or something useless like that. So take our fuel. Come with me. You can also pipe it, of course, but you can input it into any block up here, and it starts right up. So if you let the wait, I thought you need a redstone signal to start this. Is it a redstone signal to stop it? Hold on. If you it is possible to overheat this thing, I believe, and do bad things, but we're nowhere near that point. How do you stop this reactor? Who knows? Not that I really care. We can already see we are making neutron fluid. So, yeah, I'm just gonna let this thing be. If the temperature reaches that number there, the number on the right, you overheat the reactor. It's not going to happen, let's be honest here. I think each reaction has a optimum temperature. So this reaction has an optimum temperature of 4,700 whatever megakelvin. If you are at that temperature, you make more power. If you go too far above it, you make less. If you are below it, you also make less. So if you're making a power reactor, you want to regulate the temperature. I am not, so I don't care. Anyways, it's making neutron fluid. It's gonna probably take it a little while to get up to a full bucket, but when we get a bucket of it, we can withdraw it and do stuff with it. In the meantime, I did a little bit of tinkering with the recipes here with the recipe encoder. I started by importing the creative fluid tank recipe, and then I swapped out the portable tanks it imported with the exact copies of the portable tanks that I have. There's a little bit of MBT data difference. I think the level is encoded in here, whereas the level is not specified in this one. And like redstone control. Remember, this crafting is MBT data precise, so you have to have exact copies. Anyways, with that, I should be able to ask for a creative fluid tank, and it'll tell me what I'm missing. For now, I expect, yeah, we're missing the neutron fluid and the 4 black hole tanks. So let's make those tanks. As I mentioned before, if we craft the black hole tank natively with applied energistics, it'll use up our talisman. As we see here, we didn't get our talisman back, so we should probably craft it not using native applied energistics. I'm going to take that recipe out, and then we'll craft it in just an RF Tools crafter. I hear explosions. It appears that I am not feeding enough energy to my electromagnets. Electromagnet's not powered. Alright, I guess that's what happens when you let this thing get a little bit hot. If your electromagnets are not containing, like, are not powered enough to contain the reaction, the your like the plasma inside leaks, and that's not good. All right. I mean, I guess it'll cool down when it's not running, right? Yeah, we just let it explode. That's fine. How much are we out of energy? Is that why? No, we are. Wow, did I drain my entire? No, I didn't. Why are you not powering the thing? Oh, haha. I didn't put the power cell card in the power cell. So I guess it was just barely receiving enough energy from its neighbors that it didn't need power from this cell until just now. All right, well, back in business. We're now making a whopping 3,000 RF a tick, woohoo! But we almost have enough neutron fluid. Anyways, what was I doing? I was setting up the recipe for our black hole tank. All you have to do is exclude the actual black hole talisman from the pattern, and now black hole, not back hole. Black hole tank. If I request, we're gonna need a lot of these, so okay, I guess we have to put in a couple more recipes, but it should be able to craft it. Make sure that this recipe is set to XC so that it keeps the talisman inside the crafter. Second time's a charm. 20, can we do it? Yes, we can. All right, make me 20 tanks. I'll be using these tanks to hold our fluids after we make the creative tank, because like we'll only have 1 or 2 creative tanks, right? So I want to just use it to fill up a very large inventory, and then we can like use that to say provide for our UU matter and whatever else. Just so that we can use that one creative tank can effectively provide fluids for more than one, like can effectively provide more than one creative fluid. All right, looks like you are, wow, we're making meaningful amounts of energy now. A whole 7,000 RF a tick. But in just a couple minutes, or probably just a minute, we should be up to a bucket of neutron fluid. And then I'll pull that into a tank of some sort. I guess for now I just need 1 bucket of it. I don't need the second bucket yet, so put a filter here so I could get the neutron fluid without getting the helium. And here we go. So with that, if I order a creative fluid tank, are you gonna let me do it? You think you're gonna let me do it? All right, let's hit the button and see what it does. Crafting empowered void crystal block. Sure. I actually haven't moved my empower recipes over to the fast empower yet. I'm still using the regular empower instead of the crafting core. I'll do that later, but we should observe that it's trying to craft the tank, which means it thinks all the ingredients are in here. Well, let's find out if it's right. Nothing here is radioactive, right? This shouldn't kill me, hopefully. Let's hope for the best. 1 creative fluid tank, please. Oh look, we completed a quest. Apparently I never had an awakened core in my inventory. Hey, is this going to complete a quest too? No? Where's my chaotic core quest? It's out of curiosity, let's take a look. You think you need chaotic fusion injectors for the chaotic core, but that is a lie. Liar. Alright, whatever then. I guess I don't get to complete that quest. At least not yet. Are you gonna do it? You don't like the tanks, but I think that's once again just an MBT data issue thing. Unfortunately, that means I have to put the stuff in the slot they belong in by hand. So, I'm going to do that off camera. It'll take me like a good 10 minutes. Almost there, unless I mess something up, which is entirely possible because I did everything by hand. Yes, creative fluid tank. Gimme. I did not hear the quest pop. Why is that? Oh, I guess it just didn't make a sound. All right, give me my command script. Excellent. We've made it. Cool. So with this, we can now use it to fill up other tanks. And I'm going to do that right now by grabbing a black hole tank. And then we will replace you, wherever you are, with a creative fluid tank. Let's do some experiments. First of all, how does the fluid tank work? If I do that, it fills the tank. If I pick it up, it keeps its inventory. And if I put it there, it fills it very slowly. but I believe if I connect the two via laser and get a laser wrench as well as a compass, we should be able to instantly, by setting U to only out, instantly fill this with UU matter. Excellent. Now we have a full drum or a full tank of UU matter. Do you retain your inventory? You do. Cool. So any fluid I need, we can do that, and then just, it's not technically a creative tank of, oh cool, we can, wait, transfer the entire thing. Whatever. Like this, we have effectively a creative tank of UU matter with which to power our replicator. We'll be replicating a lot of things going forward, and having creative UU matter supply makes that easy. So now if we want to change the fluid, I believe we can just say I want, I don't know, a creative water, no, creative hot spring water tank. I guess we have to pick it up, and then we can empty it like this. Excellent. And now we have a creative hot spring tank, or, you know, whatever fluid we need. This will help tremendously in our next goal of making the creative gas tank. So the creative gas tank, let's see, what are our highlights here? 4 neutronium ingots. Yeah, not much else, but we need filled tanks of primal mana, liquid DNA, UU matter, and neutron fluid. Well, guess what? We can creatively produce them now. So it's much easier, you know, if we make any primal mana, we can now fill it to the brim. So I'm going to start gathering components. I don't expect to hit any roadblocks. Oh, it uses our creative fluid tank. All right, let's make a second one. I built myself a little thing to easily fill creative fluid tanks. So, or to easily fill black hole tanks, rather. If I set the fluid in a tank, it'll fill the tank, well, it should fill the black hole tank. Only, if I hold this, or if I set this in the right direction, it will. And then, let's see, only out. So that fills that, and then I can press this button to break the tank, this button to break the black hole tank, and now I have a full black hole tank of whatever fluid, and a new one automatically gets placed. Then I can empty this tank. I suppose I could even empty that tank automatically. Replace it. In fact, I should, yeah, let's do that automatically. I can empty the tank automatically, replace it, and then await the next fluid we try to put in. So now I have a black hole tank filled with neutron fluid, and I'll probably just, I don't know, I'll set up somewhere to put a bank of these. We can put fluid storage buses on them in case we need that for anything. New and improved design. So this now automatically detects when I put a fluid in there. And then by the time it's detected that and the redstone's done its thing, we can, like, it'll have already filled the new tank. It'll break the, oh. Okay, I guess it just took it a second. Maybe I'll use a faster crafter. I think the analog crafter here is a little slow. But it'll break the tank, craft it to empty it, and then put it back, and then wait for the next fluid. So I've just been going through here. I've gotten up to biomass. Or no, I think I've already done witch water. Have I not? I don't know. I just take any fluid that we need for the creative tank, or any fluid in general, place it here, and let the system do its thing. The only weirdness is that for some reason when the block breaker breaks the black hole tank, it drops it in world instead of putting it in its inventory. Whatever. No big deal. And then, yeah, I'm just going to build a large wall of them right here. In the end, I think the ultimate bottleneck is how long it takes to move the items twice. I'm sure there's a better solution than... I tried item conduits, I tried the integrated dynamics pipes, whatever, integrated tunnels. Both of them, like, sleep. So when there's no work to be done, they sleep. But again, it doesn't really matter. But for now, I think we're basically done. So all I have to do is... when I want to make a creative tank, come and get one bucket of everything here. I should probably turn that on so my inventory inevitably fills up. It just, I forget where I left off, but we magnet the components into the ME system. So everything along here we need one bucket of, and then I need a few portable tanks. Let's see. Oh, I guess the portable tanks get consumed. Alright. I guess that's fine. Give me 100 of these. Got 4 tanks and 1 tank each of these things. So 1 of you, you, and you. And with this, we should be able to auto-craft yet another creative tank. Let's see. And I mean, I say autocraft, but I still have to manually put the items into the slot they belong in. So, it probably has to make more ultimate ingots too. There's no ultimate ingot fluid, is there? Doesn't look like it. Unlucky. Creative tank number 2. So this is the one we'll use to make the creative gas tank. The other stuff in here I will be gathering up in a second. All the fluids for there, I have crumbs of already. So anyways, I think we're only going to make one of these. It is consumed to make creative vending, but there's very few things that, like very few creative gases that are useful, that are more useful than creative liquids. So yeah, to make the creative gas tank, we do need 9 full gas tanks of each of these things. However, I believe these slurries are, I mean, they're technically, wait, are they liquids or are they gases? They're gases, right? But they can be turned into liquids? Is that how this works? Hold on. Or do we have to actually process this stuff? Let me find out. Looking at these slurries, there actually is no way. They are gases, first of all, so we can't make them in our creative liquid tank. And there's no way to convert the liquid version of the slurry into gas. I think the liquids are technically not, like they don't exist in mechanism. They're added by extra cells. And yeah, like even if we could get this stuff somehow, which we can't turn the liquid back into a gas. So we're not going to get any help here. We have to do it the mechanism way, which isn't that bad. We just have to, I think it's 2 steps. Sulfuric acid plus ore makes slurry, and slurry, we wash it to make clean slurry. So we just need 512 pieces of each of these ores. Let's pin them just so I have it listed. Titanium, iridium, draconium, boron, mithril, DT fuel we already do, ethylene we already make, sulfuric acid we already make. And this is just literally salt, isn't it? So let's set aside some of these ores. I just have to stop processing those specific ones. I think titanium, we might have to move a digital miner to get a little bit more, because I don't think our, how much do I have? 15 sacks. No, that's enough. I don't need to move a digital miner. Okay, so I just need to double check. Do we actually get iridium ore from something, right? I went ahead and stopped ore processing for iridium, draconium, boron, and mana infused ore. So over the next like 10 minutes, we'll probably get the 8 stacks we need for that. In the meantime, let's go grab ourselves a ultimate gas tank of each of these other things. So DT fuel is made in here. And I think if I just... Can I autocraft ultimate gas tanks? Yes, I can. Alright, give me 10. Can we do that? Yes, we can. Cool. So if I just drop this in here, this thing will make 512 buckets of DT fuel over time. Let's see. We can steal the ethylene from here somewhere. Which of these that's liquid ethylene. So you... Yeah. Which channel? Are we inserting blue there? So if I put this here, we should be able to siphon off some ethylene. Do I have a wrench? Let's see. Up. Blue. Perfect. This will fill up with ethylene. Sulfuric acid. Man, we're just visiting all the places and stealing from them. We're making it here. We're now returning it into a gas. So if I do that, alright, that'll steal 512 buckets of sulfuric acid, and then hydrogen fluoride. Is there some cheeky way of making this? Hydrogen plus chlorine, I guess not. Can we make the gas? I mean, we could just make a tiny bit. Yeah, I'll make a one like bucket of it and then creative tank it and then condensate it to make a ultimate gas tank of hydrogen chloride. I'm not even pretending to make a system for this. I'm just grabbing smaller amounts of hydrogen and chloride from various other places. That's enough. And then running it through a series of machines that I'm not even plugging in. They get one load of energy from which side is this going? They get one load of energy from from my inventory when I like hold them, and that's all the energy they ever need. All right, so now I just need I think it's pipette. What's the thing that can hold? Can this hold less than a bucket of fluid? I think it can, right? Yeah, there we go. And then with this, I can make a creative tank of it and decondensate it back into gas and fill a ultimate gas tank. Yay, game crash. Well, by the time we get back in, I expect all the waiting will be done. Our tanks should be full, our ores should be backed up, and then we can just really quickly set up the slurry making system and fill, I think it was like 5 or 6 tanks with the ore slurries. Back in the game, and it looks like we're just about perfectly timed. Our ethylene tank is just about to fill up. This one filled up a little bit slower than the rest. And I just took a look and we need one more stack of iridium, which just was gathered up. So this is 8 stacks of each ore, which I believe is 512. Is that how math works? 8 times 64? I hope so. And that is exactly enough to fill the slurry tanks. So we'll take one of these with us. And remember, we previously had set up a system to process this stuff already, except we were taking it the extra step and turning it into crystals, right? We were taking the ores, processing them, dissolving them, washing them, and then crystallizing them. Well, now we just have to skip the crystallization step, so we'll take this machine. Can I turn your extract off? I don't think so, so I guess we'll just get rid of the crystallizer for now. And put a tank here. Right, let me see if this works. Let's just drop off our output here, extract, work stack-wise. Extract. Alright, so it'll melt it, wash it, good, and then ultimate gas tanks. Thought I made more of these. But we just drop a tank, I guess this slot? Yep. And that'll fill it up with clean slurry. And we probably need a bigger water source. And with the help of a time in a bottle on the dissolution chamber, I guess we're limited by how fast we're making sulfuric acid in the end. Whatever, this'll fill this tank up in reasonably short order. Each ore that processed makes 100, right? Yeah, that's why I need 512 ores. Perfect. All right, so once I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ores that we process. Once we have this, I think the rest of this tank is relatively trivial. There's actually one tiny thing I think in here that's rocket fuel, but this at this point is, we can make it in the vat and it takes like 2 steps. Yeah, no big deal. I hooked up a creative sulfuric acid source so that the sulfuric acid production wouldn't be our bottleneck, and then I can time in a bottle this thing a lot. And now we fill one of these tanks in like 30 seconds. Beautiful. Crafting this late in the game is pretty weird. You don't exactly follow rules anymore. So this makes a little bit of rocket fuel, or I guess this is only hooch, right? This makes hooch. How do I guess I need something to swap the input tank to the output. Can I do that with a tank? Yeah. And then that makes rocket fuel. Enough. And then we can turn this into creative rocket fuel. I love this little creative duper. Very fun. The way it spits the thing out. Alright, so that's rocket fuel. And I think it was 4 buckets of it. Oh. Something like that. How much rocket fuel was it for this creative gas tank? That looks like it's 8. Require additional buckets. Combine all of our gas tanks into a gas tank trophy. Woohoo! It's an empty trophy. We've been bamboozled. And then we can use this, combine it with, not that recipe, combine it with all this other stuff, and make the creative gas tank. Let me put the components on the crafting table and see if it works out. Alas, another case of the recipe not importing correctly because of portable tank and BT data. So, I gotta draw it out again. As far as I can tell, I put all the items in the right slot, so I don't see an output, but ooh, can't click it this time. Now the million-dollar question. Did I do something wrong, or is the recipe at fault? Spend the next 20 minutes checking every slot over. I really have no idea this time, so definitely not crafting. All my items line up perfectly. So let's see if that does it. My last idea is maybe, just maybe, these need to be picked up with a wrench and not with a pickaxe. I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel here on ideas, so can't even be that wrench. I think it's a crescent hammer. I know this recipe works for other people because people have done it without cheats, which means that it must be, it must be doable, right? But that still doesn't do it. Let's just make sure my order is right. I've checked this like 30,000 times already. Neutron Fluid, Primal Mana, UU Matter, Liquid DNA in reading order. Neutron Fluid, Primal Mana, UU Matter, Liquid DNA. Like, there's extra tags, but I can't make the extra tags go away. I honestly don't know. If, hold on. Neutron Fluid. I'm gonna take another minute to, like, stab at it. If I don't figure it out, I'm just gonna cheat in the gas tank. Last idea. If this doesn't do it, nothing will. Maybe we have to place and break the trophy once. No, I got nothing. Let me know if you can, if you see something obvious, but I would be, like, I'm 99.9% sure I put the items in the right slot. The fact that I can't import doesn't help. But we're just gonna give ourselves one of these and delete everything here. With our creative gas tank, there's just one thing I kind of want to try. This is more out of curiosity than anything. Do I have a spare port on this thing? I don't. A bit of a shame. Alright, well, how can I do this? I want to fill you with DT fuel, and we will pipe DT fuel. Let's see, if I extract, I think this should work. If I extract from the black channel, that should directly pipe DT fuel into the reactor, which causes it to... No, it is not heating up. Hold on. I have to set the bottom to output. Will that cause you to heat up? Yes, there we go. We are directly injecting DT fuel into the reactor, which causes it to consume extra fuel, which causes it to run extra hot. And there's no limit to how hot we can run this reactor. So if I just get some upgrades here and put that in there, our reactor should just keep producing more and more and more energy. This is a real creative energy cell. Is there any purpose to doing this? No, not at all. But it's fun, I guess. Anyways, I don't think there's a better use for the creative gas tank. Like, there's that many creative gases we need here on out. But let's take a quick look at what is left to do. And yeah, so what's left is just the creative vending upgrade. I mean, technically, there's like all these other creatives, but I didn't even complete the quest. I'll cheat the quest in too. But once we have creative items, you know, all this other stuff comes easy. So for creative vending, we need the key bits are these 2 infinity ingots, and I mean, I guess that's really it, relatively speaking. The creative essences require a little bit of stuff, but not really. It's really just 2 infinity ingots. So if we make 1 infinity ingot, we could actually melt it, get creative fluids to make the second one. So it's really just 1 infinity ingot. 1 infinity ingot is made from, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 infinity catalysts and 2 ultimate singularities. By my count, there are 39 unique individual singularities. They're all made with 10,000 of an item. Most of them are ingots, although there are a few exceptions here that'll be slightly more difficult. Like 90% of these we can just make from fluids, but there's a few exceptions, and those will be the challenging ones. But we are out of time for today, so we'll be back next time to make our about 13 of each singularity. There's a few we don't need the full 13 of, because the Infinity Catalyst doesn't quite use all of them. I'm not quite sure which ones it skips, but we'll figure it out next time. And there's a couple other, like, you know, there's a couple things besides just these 2 ingots. These tier 6 solars are, I guess they use a couple more singularities. Whatever, I'm not going to stress the details for now. Point is, I'd say we'll be back next time to continue our journey towards the creative ending. By my guess, I would say 2 to 3 videos left at this point. So we're nearing the end. Look forward to it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.